Welcome, you guys. It's Bible study time. Always excited about coming forward, you guys. Today is absolutely no different. I got so many things going on: Bible study, Sunday service, podcast. It's hard to keep track, but yes, today I'm coming forward with a. We're on our journey. We're moving through the Old Testament. We are in the book of Numbers today. And we are still speaking to Moses because Moses is still leading the children. But today I'm going to piggyback off something that I delivered earlier in my Hey You podcast. And that is having to do with, how do you see yourself? I don't care what you got. I know you guys got all kind of stuff, and I'm happy for you. But how do you see yourself if you didn't have any of that? If you were down to just what your core values were, and you had to lead and market with just that, could you do it? I don't want you to stop at the thought of how you see yourself. I would like for this Bible study to be how you see yourself to be the foundation of which I give you ideas of. I'm going to use Caleb and Joshua to serve as symbols to what do you do when you can't go back? What do you do when you've reached a threshold that you're afraid of your future because you don't know what it entails? Yet you know going back means retreating. It means forfeiture. It means giving away that which has been bestowed upon you for a ghost, for something that has not materialized, that has not shown itself, for an imaginative aspect of your own self, your own fear. Chapter 13 of the book of Numbers reads, verse 1 through 3 is what I'm going to read. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Send thou men, that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers shall they send a man, every one a ruler among them. God has told Moses to tell the heads of each tribe, each of the 12 tribes, each one of their leaders, the head of each of these tribes, to come together and go and scout the land of Canaan. Because this is the promised land. This is the land flowing with milk and honey that God has promised these people. Now, at the time when God would promise it, it would sound like a phenomenal promise. Everybody wanted it. It was the fat of the lamb. Everything is voluptuous and vibrant and good and organized. Yet they didn't know how God would lead them to receive it. They didn't get caught in the details of what God would do in order to allow them to inhabit it. They never for a second thought that they would be the footmen that God would build up by way of miracles, what he did in Egypt, and them growing in their knowing and their faith of God by way of that. And by way of all the things that God would lead them through, the pillar of cloud by day and the fire by night, the surety of the covering of God wherever they go, the ability for the Ark of the Covenant to go before them and fight battles on their behalf as if it was God in the flesh or in material. They've been built up in their knowing at this point. They have tangible experiences that they actually went through. And they're not alone in it. They're not sitting by themselves and saying, I'm the only one that experienced this. No, they have a whole community of people amongst one another. Families, grandmothers, aunts, uncles, children, fathers, grandfathers, cousins. Everybody is privy to this. Everybody has seen it. I need you to feel this. So it's a heightened level of knowing, multiplied, vibrating in all directions amongst these people. And so when God tells them that he's going to lead them to the promised land, they're with it. They just don't know how God's going to do it. And they're thinking in their mind, God is going to do it like God did it in Egypt. It was God through Moses that waged war on their behalf. The children didn't have to do anything but follow Moses. But now God is taking it a step further. God is saying, you're going to go and you're going to scout this promised land that I prepared for you. And you're going to come back and tell me what you see. And the children at this point, the only ones that really know what's going on are the heads of each tribe. The children really don't know yet. This is all C-level stuff. This is all executive level principal stuff. This has not been trickled down to the people as of yet. And they go, well, before they even go, they have an idea that God is going to have them go forth and enter into this land before they get to it. How do I know that? Well, because Jethro, Moses' ally, his mentor, the guy that actually put Moses in position to get selected by God, would say, I'm not going to go with you on this leg of the journey. I'm going to go back to Midian. And Moses is like, no, I really need you to stay. I want you to stay. You've been so good. God is going to bless you. And Jethro was like, nah, this is above my pay grade. You won't understand why Jethro turned away unless you understood the people that inhabit the land that these 12 heads of the tribes will go and scout. Moses tells all 12 heads of the tribe what God has said for them to do. Verse 17 picks up, and Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said unto them, get you up this way southward, and go up into the mountain, and see the land, what it is, and the people that dwelleth therein, whether they be strong or weak, few or many, and what the land is that they dwell in, whether it be good or bad, and what cities they be that dwell in, whether in tents or in strongholds, and what the land is, whether it be fat or lean, whether there be wood therein or not. And be ye of good courage, and bring of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the time of first ripe grapes. God has sent all 12 leaders of the house of Israel to scout this land. God says, I want you to look at every single aspect of this land. I want you to spend some time in this land. This is not go check it out, look at it from a mountaintop, see it, and then come back. No, I need you to walk this land. I need you to go in here, and I need you to have a firsthand experience of this land. I need you to be able to tell me details of this land as if you've lived in this land. As if you are going to go and live and choose a living space in this land. I need you to go and search out this land. And after you searched it out, I need you to bring me the fruit. Bring the fruit back from this land as something that the people can see. God would know exactly why he would send these 12 the way he would send them. They wouldn't know, but God would know. They would have an idea of who inhabited certain areas of the land, but they would not know what they would experience while in this land. Verse 27, and they told him and said, this is after they've came back. We came into the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey. And this is the fruit of it. They showing him the fruit. Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, and by the coast of Jordan. So they're giving him a report, and they're saying it's a monumental land. It surely flows with milk and honey, just like God said. But there's a very strong people up in there. And they've got ingenuity in ways that we don't have. They've got tall walls like we've not ever seen. And most importantly, the children of Anak are there. Moses tells the 12 in chapter 13, verse 1 through 3, to go, you mighty men of this house, you guardians of this house, go and peep the scene. I need you to peep the scene and whatever's going on around you. I need you to look at everything going on. I need you to bring these fruit back. And then I need you to come back and tell us what you see. God doing this. He could have sent one scout. He could have sent 2 scouts. But God sent one head of each of the 12 tribes to go and peep the scene. Go to the party and peep the scene and whatever's going on around you. I need you to be able to acknowledge. I need you to move amongst mighty men. I've given you an invite to go into the party and move amongst mighty men. And come back and tell me what it was like. Why? Because God needed to know several things. One of which was, how do you see yourself? How do you see yourself when you are engaged amongst people that are not like you? They don't share the same God as you. They don't value the same things that you value. Yet they see themselves mighty. They have no shortcomings when it comes to their visualization of who they see themselves to be. And when you have 2 people standing in front of one another, The one that sees themselves worthy is the one that prevails. The children of Anak were not concerned about these 12 in their land. But all 10 came back, and only 2 came back with a worthy word. What will happen is, this instance that I just read to you is a precursor of the downward spiral that these 10 rather, would begin to experience as it related to the way that they saw themselves against mighty men. Who are the children of Anak? Let's get to that. I got something for you today, a little treat. These are the children of Anak. The children of Anak are considered the Anunnaki. They make up the house of Anu. This is one visual of them. This visualization of them is them handling this tree that I've been speaking to, looking to manipulate its fruit. This signifies the wisdom of these people. These are spiritually wise people, and they are strong. You see how they are being depicted? They look very, very strong. It's not physical strength that they have. It's strength in wisdom, ingenuity. They have strength as it relates to them being able to manage situations. They're a mighty kingdom of people. This is another picture of them, a broader view of the previous picture. What we find here is there are 2 individuals behind the 2 that are manipulating this tree. And the distinguishing factor between them is that they have wings, and the ones that are manipulating the tree don't. They don't have wings. This signifies, in my opinion, that those 2 that are at the forefront manipulating the tree have fallen longer. They've been in this particular realm a longer time. These individuals are those that you would consider somewhat what biblical stories convey as the fallen ones. And because they've been here so long, they have adjusted to this realm and they've lost their wings. They no longer have their wings. They look more like those that are within this realm. Yet those that are behind them have wings. And that shows that there were those that were here longer than others. Because these behind them have been able to, they still have their wings. They haven't been here as long as their forefathers that are up front. These are further pictures of them. These are the giants. When you see them on this seat, this is a giant individual. And these are people serving them. That's how tall they were. Giants. Powerful beings. This picture is not to show off the fact that he's physically fit. Who knows if he was actually physically fit like this? It's to show that he has power. This is his original state when he came into this realm. He came from another realm, wings being symbolic to that. Enlightenment, this pine cone symbolism, is a symbolism of enlightenment. Wisdom. I'm not going to stay on this too long, but I needed you to see this. What you see here is the fruit in his hand. This individual is extremely tall. We've already established that. He's very, very tall. These are giants. So for him to hold this cluster of figs, I'm assuming this is what this is, would make the figs be extremely large as well. This is why God said, bring the fruit back. For him to hold this pine cone makes the pine cone that large also. Another depiction of these beings. So I wanted to give you something to be able to visualize, to cross-reference to what this scripture is saying, so that you can understand what the 12 experienced when they went into this land. They went into the land of the giants, powerful kingdom, and they're scouting the land of the giants. And they come back and they say, nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and by the coasts of Jordan. What they're saying is that there are other giants as well as mortal men dwelling in this area that are the enemies of God. These are all the nations that follow the fallen ones. These are all the giants that have established kingdoms in the earth. And just like God does, he's a God and he has a nation of people. These people, these entities act as gods as well, and they have nations of people that follow them and that wage war with other nations of people, like the nation of Israel, on behalf of their gods. So Caleb jumps in the conversation and he says, and Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are able to overcome it. What has been conveyed is doubt initially. Yes, it's a land of milk and honey. Yes, it's beautiful. Yes, the fruit, they brought back grapes that were huge. Yes, it's wonderful. But they've got a mighty people that inhabit this land. And that statement, coupled with the fact that the children of Anak and all of these other nations are inhabiting it, was an unspoken level of fear that was established. Fear. Just by them saying that. Yeah, it's beautiful and everything, but guess who's over there? And when they establish who it is, it couldn't be any worse group of people. This is why Jethro left. He's saying, I know what area you're headed to. I got an idea what this God is going to lead you to do, and this is above my pay grade. And I don't want to deal. I'm going to go back. I'm not part of your group, and this is a good time to kind of turn around and retreat. Nobody wanted to deal. And this is why God said, send all the 12 heads. I want to see what the 12 leaders of the tribe feel. And this is going to teach me. It's going to show me what I need to do next. Yet Caleb comes and says, we've come this far. Where do we go? If we're not banking on what God is in our lives, what have we stood for? What has all that we have experienced been for? Is it a joke? Is this a theatrical movie? Do you think God is doing this because he doesn't have anything else to do? Do you not believe? Caleb says, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. Caleb is saying, I got everything I need to get this done, friend. With God on my side, going through what we went through, if we don't believe yet, we'll never believe. But the man that went up with him said, we be not able to go up against these people, for they are stronger than we. You could hear him, as if he's saying it today. Yeah, friend, we're not going to be able to win this one. You can hear it. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel. Now they're speaking it to the people, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. The land is huge. The trees, the weeds, the fruit, the flowers, everything is huge. And the people. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers. So we were in their sight. There it is there. They saw themselves small. And because they saw themselves small, those people saw them as small as well. How do you see yourself? How do you see yourself, friend? I'm here to tell you that there could come a point in your life where God will send you into strange experiences, to strange lands, lands inhabited by giants and monsters. And it will be your knowing of God, all of those bankable experiences of God that you've had thus far in your life, that will be ammunition and fuel for you to conjure the fire of knowing within you that will prepare you, give you the courage and the fortitude to move forward in the unknown amongst them. What Caleb and Joshua would do would have the audacity to believe. They would have the audacity to lean in on the promises of God by way of their own walk, by holding their own selves blameless, and in doing so, holding God accountable to all of God's promises. Chapter 14, verse 6, and Joshua the son of Nun, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. And they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it is an exceeding good land. If the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye against the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land. Don't fear them. They are no greater than you. No greater. These giants that they saw in this land were bound to the same physical laws that you are bound to. In spirit, you rank higher than them. Surely there was a time when it was another way. but through mistakes that they themselves have made. They've fallen, just as you have. Yet they don't see themselves unworthy as you. They are wiser than you in that sense. They know that the spirit of unworthiness does nothing but diminish their power. Yet if you ever stand in the truth of who you are and have the audacity to throw off the cloak of unworthiness and stand in honor of the promises, regardless to the mistakes that you may have made in your life, and begin to align properly to what is righteously yours and righteously innate within you, they will begin to wear the mantle of unworthiness. It will pass from you to them. Only rebel not ye against the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Friend, their defense is departed from them. Good God. And the Lord is with us. Fear them not. Scripture is conveying the storyline without getting into the details of what had happened of these people. Scripture is conveying the storyline of these fallen without getting into the details of, oh, well, the fallen one coagulated on the mountain and they did this. Without all of that, Joshua and Caleb are saying, friend, we all know the story of these fallen ones. Don't fear these people. Yeah, they're big. All the stuff that they got over there is big. That's more for us to eat. We're going to eat off of this plate, friend. This is a huge plate that we can go and eat off of. And if God sent us to it, he must have seen us worthy of contending, and not even contending, overcoming. But we've got to do the work to stay in alignment so that we can partake of it. A lot of times we don't want to do the work. We just want to receive. We love to do the underhanded work, don't we? We love to do all the nonsensical stuff that doesn't add up to nothing. We'll do that. But the stuff that really matters, we don't want to do. But they're saying, if you could just see yourself worthy. Seeing yourself worthy is a huge umbrella. It's not just, oh, see myself worthy. Let me create an image of me being worthy. No, that's a lie. That's what you call a lie. Seeing yourself worthy is doing each detail corresponding to each element that will empower you. Staying in alignment with God and all the details that that require you to do such, so that you are in alignment. That is called seeing yourself worthy. When you can look at yourself and say, okay, this monumental situation has come upon me. Do I have what it takes to get this done? Did I do? I got what it takes. Okay. That's seeing yourself worthy. Now I can go and embark upon this leg of the journey, even though I never expected it, and it's strange and it's monumental and it's scary. Why is it scary? Because you need to hone in now on words from God. Now the attention from the enemy is greater. He will pull out every trick he's got. And all of his tricks, y'all, I'm here to tell you, they come in the form, they look like witchcraft. That's all he's got. He's got witchcraft and he's got the luxuries of this life. I just read from the book of Numbers, chapter 14. I'll begin putting that in my title. Chapter 14, verse 9 is what I just read from. Only rebel not ye against the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. You've got to change how you see your circumstance. Their defense is departed from them. God has stripped them down. They are less than you on the spiritual hierarchical scale system. They cannot go before God and petition God anything on your behalf. Yet if you don't study, if you don't know, if you're not fascinated enough to come into podcasts like this or others, you will never know that. You won't know where you are. If you don't read, if you don't align, you will never know. God can never send you a directional to lead you to it. Yet Caleb and Joshua are reinstilling this truth into their brethren. And they're saying, don't fear them. So what? They're big. The taller they are, the harder they fall. So what? We are swallowed up by the land. It's more for us to eat. There's more of a reap. We could become very profitable off of this. God is with us. Fear them not. Joshua and Caleb are at a place where God has led them to their promise and led them out of their yesterday. Their yesterday they could go back to, they think, but they will be treated terrible. God has broken Egypt on behalf of these people. The Egyptians don't want anything to do with these people. If they were to go back, they would have to go back begging and pleading, and they will be treated worse than they ever were treated before. Yet their promise is before them. But in order for them to stand in the promise, they've got to see themselves worthy of taking it. And in order to take it, they're going to need supernatural help. This is nothing that they'll be able to do just with their physicality. These fallen ones surely have lost their spiritual defense, but they have the wherewithal to conjure it from within. They are very ingenuitive. More so than these children could ever be. But with the Spirit of God, they cannot contend. And this will be the element that would allow the children of Israel the victory. But the group of the house doesn't see it. After all of their walks through Egypt and through all of the various areas that they walked through, eating manna and getting purged of meat and then complaining, and the cloud coming by the cloud in the day and the pillar of fire by night, they've been told the laws of the house. They've already been established as a nation. They know the laws of God. God has taken time to educate these people. God has shown them signs and wonders as a group. Like I said, not just one person. These people saw all of this as a nation. They could sit up at dinner at night and all talk about the experiences that they have had with this God. And you mean to tell me they don't see themselves worthy? Verse 10, but all the congregation bade stone them with stones. And the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. God came on their behalf. They wanted to stone Caleb and Joshua for telling them what they all should have known themselves. Nonetheless, y'all, nobody would go into the promised land but Caleb and Joshua. Only two out of the whole house. God will let the generation of them go by. I keep telling you, God said he'll do it again with 3, friend. All of us thinking that there needs to be this huge head count kind of thing. This is not a head count thing. I'm starting to see that. This is an individualistic basis type thing at this leg of the game. And I said that many years ago when I first came on. Each one has to kindle the fire within themselves and act it out in their lives. Do you see yourself worthy of reaping all the rewards and the promises of God? Do you see yourself worthy of being covered by the protective essence of God? Because I'm here to tell you, there will come situations just as Joshua and Caleb experienced where you won't be able to retreat and go back. You will be faced with a monumental challenge. And it, from the looks of it, is going to look overwhelming. It's going to look like something that you don't see how you can get beyond it. And if you sit and wrestle with it long enough in your mind, you will weaken yourself to it. You don't have the faculty within you to overcome it in thought. You don't. It will be the strangeness of God that will allow you to do it. And it will not be any way that you'll be able to trace how it will come about. Why? Because you're dealing with supernatural forces that know how to search it from you. All you will need is faith and knowing. And this is why God led the children in the way he led them up to this point. They had all the faith and knowing that they needed. Yet they did not see themselves worthy. None of them. All of them were following after one, after one, after one. They're all following after one another. No one, not one of them, was able to stand up for their own selves and say, yeah, I believe we can do it. God has led us thus far. I agree with Caleb and Joshua. We can do this. Not one of them. They found comfort in numbers. And in doing so, they're thinking that these numbers are going to overrule what God is going to do. These numbers that we are going to show are going to overrule what Caleb and Joshua are talking about. And they wouldn't. They would all. None of them would make it into the promised land but Caleb and Joshua. They would all be unalived. They would all transition, let's just say, transition. And God would allow the generation to come and go. And naturally, I don't want anybody to think, oh, God unalived them. And no, God would allow this generation to come and go. And Caleb and Joshua will go into the promised land. And Moses would anoint Joshua as a high priest of Israel, and Joshua would be the leader of the people in Moses' absence. I ask you, how do you see yourselves, y'all? Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate you. How do you see yourselves? It starts and it stops with you. Have you built yourself up on a solid rock? Because if you haven't, you always can. If you know you haven't built yourself up on a solid rock, why not begin now to do that? Nobody has to know but you. It's not something you go out and parade amongst people and talk about. You the only one need to know about it. It will only benefit you. It gives you the surety that you need to weather whatever storm life throws at you, without having to call somebody, without having to align to somebody. The only alignment you need is the alignment of God that is within you. That's the only alignment you'll need. There is no better weaponry. There is no more formidable ally. I'm here to tell you. No weapon formed against you will ever prosper. They will form, friend. When I tell you, they're going to come with it. But they will not prosper, friend. What God has for you is for you. And all you must do is stay in alignment to what is real. What is real within you? Stay in alignment to that. These children would come and overtake these people. Even Moses would wage war with, and that's further in the scripture, with giants and slay them by the ankle with the sword. The taller they are, the harder they fall. I had some pictures of giants, but it's not going to allow me to put them up. We're talking about very large entities. This is why, I said this before, the flood, it rained 40 days and 40 nights. Why did it need so much water? Because they needed to drown very tall entities. Nonetheless, this is my Bible study for you today. How do you see yourself? How you see yourself shows in all that you do. It does. And it's an ongoing process. Nobody has it all together. Nobody has it all together enough to judge anybody else. That's the beauty of it. I know we want to give people advice and condemn people for things that we don't do, but we're sinning even greater in a different way. Nobody has it all together, friend. The best we can do is encourage one another in our struggles. Give each other encouragement and say, I'm praying for you, or I hope the best for you, or give someone a warm inward smile and let them continue on in their path in life. Because you don't know what people are dealing with out here. And what someone may display, may just make what they're dealing with look easy to you, but it's very difficult. Work on the things that matter. Your inward projection. Get your inward stuff right. Get it right. Get aligned. Get strong inwardly. And the outward will come next. I say this to myself as I say it to you. You love more than you'll ever know. I'll never stop telling you I love you and I mean it. Be blessed. Peace and love.